Hello my friends, I am Dr. Bree and I have a very special workout for the male part of my audience. So this is a pelvic floor workout for men. And this is my husband.
Hello.
Who has generously agreed to do this with us today. Now, this particular workout is more for strengthening, coordination, and control. Great for sexual health, for stamina, for endurance, for all of those things. Now, if you are dealing with pelvic pain and tension, then I would actually prefer for you to watch some other videos. I have a playlist dedicated to pelvic pain and tension that would be a better starting place. I also have a program designed for men called Overcome Pelvic Pain. That would be a good starting place too. But if you are really more in the market for strengthening, coordination, and control, let's go ahead and get to the workout. So start on your hands and knees, and I will show you from the side, and Chris will show you from the front. We're gonna start with cat and cow pose. So I want you to go ahead and hold the pose for, 3 or 4 seconds in each position. So this cow spine is where your back is arching down toward the ground, and then the cat spine is when your back is arching up toward the ceiling. Now just flow back and forth a couple of times, but I want you to feel and really hold the end range for a couple of breaths at least. And I want to share something with you. Now, when Chris goes into this cow spine, he's lifting his tailbone up toward the ceiling and the sitting bones are spreading apart. It's a release of the pelvic floor. Now, the cat spine, when his back is rounded, he's tucking his tailbone under, and it's kind of this scoop sensation. This scoop sensation, there's a lift of the pelvic floor and a pulling in of the low abs. And this scooping is something that we're going to be using in the entire workout. So you'll see the scooping from here on out. So get a feel for it and really sense that lift of the pelvic floor as you do it. So go ahead and finish up. And then what we're going to do is we're going to move into a half kneeling position. So go ahead and bring one leg forward. And in this position, you can certainly place a towel or something like that under your leg if you need it. But you can come on up and place your hands on your hips, and we're going to go into a pelvic tilt. So the same scooping motion that we did in the cat and cow. Now, if you need balance and stability, you can widen your legs so it's not so narrow. You can widen your leg out. Of course, you can always hold on to something for balance as well. But feel in this position that you are letting your back arch, and then you're tucking your tail under, and you're scooping, that scooping and hollowing out, just flowing back and forth. And what's happening here, keep going, keep breathing. What's happening here is it's a stretch of the hip flexor. And again, as you scoop forward, it's that lift of the pelvic floor and the pulling in of the low abs. So it's activating those deep core muscles. And then you're releasing as your bum goes back. So the lift and pulling in is activating, and then you release. So a couple more. And when you're doing this, you're fixed through the lower part of the body so that you can really focus on the mobilization and the movement in the pelvic area. So go ahead now and place your hands down and switch to the other side. Come on up. Remember, you can widen your feet apart if you need the balance, and you are scooping and then releasing back. Scooping and releasing back. Now breathe with this. Exhale as you scoop, and then inhale as you release back. Keep going. And inhale. So these scooping motions are again starting to wake up the deep core, wake up the pelvic floor, stretch out the hip flexors, improve endurance, improve strength of the entire deep core, and it just feels good. So after we do maybe 3 or 4 more, we're actually going to stand up, so keep going. We're going to stand up next and do a saddle squat, which is another way to continue to wake up the pelvic floor and the inner thigh muscles too. Let's go ahead and wrap it up here. Do one more good scoop. Feel that lift of the pelvic floor, pulling into the low abs. And come on down. Make your way, however it feels good, up into a stand. Now we're gonna go into our saddle squat, where your knees are apart, feet are wide, toes pointed out. You're sinking down. Now I'm gonna show you from the side that you're not forward like this, you're sinking straight down like so. Knees track out over your toes. Make sure they don't come in. You want to open the hips, and this already is a lot. But holding this position, I want you to come on up and then down. So as you come up, lift your pelvic floor and your inner thigh muscles, you'll feel them too. So lifting through here. Now, if you want to make it kind of like a warrior pose, you can have your arms up like this in fists. But again, make sure it's like you're sliding up and down a wall. So try not to lean forward like so. And also don't let your back arch with your arms up like this. You want to pull your abs in so your core is nice and strong. Are you feeling that in your inner thighs?
I am feeling it.
Yes. And the pelvic floor is lifting as well. Every time you stand up, feeling that activation of the center line. This is really kind of like, I don't know, it's like incognito pelvic floor work, because we're not doing kegels, but we're still activating the pelvic floor nevertheless. All right, let's go ahead and do last one here. Now angle your feet forward just a tiny bit, and we're gonna sit down into a squat. And in this squat position, so play with how your feet need to be positioned, but I want you to be comfortable, and I want you to do those scoops. Just 2, and then up. So we go down and scoop, scoop, and up. Down, scoop, scoop, and up. Again, down, scoop, scoop, and up. Okay, keep going. Now, what's happening is, again, every time he scoops and tucks under, there's a gentle activation of the pelvic floor and the low abs. So again, the scoop, you're pulling in the low abs and the pelvic floor is lifting. So last time here, and up. Nice job. Shake out the legs. All right, let's go into our isolated kegels. So all of that was like just waking things up. Now we're gonna actually get in there and really use the pelvic floor muscles themselves. So begin by actually releasing the pelvic floor. Now this is weird, but releasing your toes and your feet can actually help release the pelvic floor. So think about lifting your toes up off the ground, spreading them out, and letting them just relax into the floor. Interestingly enough, a tight clenched toes can lead to tight clenched pelvic floor muscles. And we want everything to be released so that we can really strongly contract and then release. So what we're going for is a lift of the pelvic floor muscles, the muscles that sit at the base of the pelvis. So feel as if you are pulling in and lifting up those pelvic floor muscles. You're gonna do this on your own count, and you're not gonna be able to see Chris doing anything because it's all internal. But you can feel as if you are closing off your openings of the pelvic floor. So closing off the urethral opening and the anal opening. So you can think of stopping the flow of urine, or you can think of stopping the passing of gas, or you can think of almost like lifting your testicles up into your body. It's kind of a sensation that we can go with.
Yes.
Or a feeling of even lifting the penis. So any of these sensations here might allow you to feel that lift of the pelvic floor muscles. And then the key is that we completely release and let go. So you have to be able to let go to really, start the flow of urine, to have a bowel movement. To have satisfying sex, you need to be able to contract but also release. So it's really important to have both the contract and the relax. So now that we have done a few kegels, let's go ahead and spread our legs nice and wide. And after all that activation, let's let this go. So big lion's breath. I want you to bend your knees, hands on your thighs, and stick your tongue out. And come on up. 3 more times. Keep going. Last time. This releases anxiety, tension, emotion, and there's a lot of that that's associated. Shake it all out. There's a lot of that that can be associated with sexual health issues and pelvic health issues. So just releasing the jaw, releasing that tension can be really, really helpful. All right, roll those shoulders back, and let's go into malasana, so a deep squat stretch. What you're gonna do is sit down, maybe take a couple of stretches with your hands down on the ground and just lift your bum up toward the ceiling. Toes are turned slightly out to the side. And what we're gonna do is end up sitting down into a deep squat. Now, I don't want you to be roundy and hunchy like this. I'd like you to be lifted. And if you need to be sitting on a yoga block or a stool, that's totally fine. Arms are in between your inner thighs, so you're really opening through the knees. Toes and knees are both trekking out. And in this position, do 3 to 4 kegels. So go ahead and go for it. The squeeze and lift of the pelvic floor, and then the full release. And this position is nice because you can really feel that complete release.
Yes.
He's a good guy. All right, do a couple of more, and we're almost done. We're just gonna do some stretches to release and let go after this. So finish up, couple more kegels. On this last one, maybe hold it. Hold it for 5 to 6 to 10 seconds. Hold it, hold it, hold it, hold it. Lift, 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 lift. And then fully release. All right, hands down. Come on down. And let's go onto the back for, just stir the pot.
Stirring pots.
So come on, well, I'll just let you do it. So come onto your back and hold onto your knees and just swirl your knees around, stirring the pot. And that just kind of loosens up the hip joints, lets it all go. And then our last move that we'll finish up with is the frog stretch. So thread your hands between your legs, holding onto your ankles or even on the outsides of your shins. Or if that's too much, you could also hold on underneath your knees just so that you don't feel like it can be a lot of a stretch, a big stretch of your inner thighs. But this position, it's really important just to breathe deeply, down low, down into your pelvic floor, your pelvic basin, and just totally, totally relax. Breathe down into your perineum, that area way down low, just let go. Again, the relaxation is just as important as the contraction when it comes to pelvic health and control of the pelvic floor muscles. So I'll leave you in this pose, and thank you again, honey, for doing this with me, and I will see you all next time. Thank you so much. You can you can sit up. All right. Thank you so much for watching, and as always, remember, eat clean, move every day, and you will shine brighter. And pelvic health is for men and women, so please don't forget to do this workout. It's gonna improve things.
True story.